So, what some of the challenges that you are facing as an Arab Muslim youth here?
Some of them, obviously, the very well-known ones are we've been name-called, we've been ostracized from society, we're called terrorists, we're called sand N-words, we're questioned of our allegiance to America. And I think one of the most difficult things that I've ever faced personally is trying to identify who I am as a person because, one, at this sort of age, me and a lot of other people out there, we're questioning, we're trying to figure out who we are and what our purpose is in society. And then when we have these sort of attacks going on and then we are questioned of our allegiance and they question us of our identity, it's really hard to figure out who you are. And something that I've noticed is like within American and Western society, you, if certain cultures are celebrated, whereas certain cultures are not celebrated. And if you're part of that minority group that isn't celebrated, your identity, you can't be both Arab American and American. You can't be both Muslim and American. You can't be Latino American. It's one or the other. Whereas I see myself as a Muslim Arab American, people question me, how are you both Muslim and American? And so it's really difficult to identify who we are, and I think that's the biggest struggle. And that affects us in how we grow up, that affects us in how we perceive ourselves, how society perceives us, and it kind of causes us to be scared to speak out, as I mentioned earlier.
So, what are the changes that we could do, maybe in education or maybe in our communities? What do you think are some of the things we can do so that it's not you'll be able to have that participation and you don't have that challenges that you face, like what you said?
Something that I personally believe is that you weren't born like hating somebody. It's kind of how we were raised. And so it kind of starts at the root, like our environment, our communities, by teaching individuals not to ostracize us, not to see us as enemies, because we too are Americans, we too are Arabs and Americans, and we are with you guys. We're on the same team, we're on the same side. We don't promote any of this violence that's out there. So it really starts at home or in our communities by not allowing people to say these kind of names or say these sort of
What
things.
about
like,
an educational community, like at school? Is that they can play a big role?
Absolutely. You have to see the whole picture. I think by changing the curriculum and promoting more classes, having more classes available that really target the relationship between the Muslim world and the West, or analyzing Arabs and within America, like at the University of Missouri, we do have some classes, like I've taken Islam in the West. I'm currently taking a class called Youth Islam and Global Cultures. By having these sort of courses available to take and to really sit down and just kind of discuss and read, we can start to go forward. It can start to teach people, and they start to learn something new, and that maybe what they thought was completely wrong, and then they'll be more inclined to go out there and research on their own, to go out and hang out maybe with Arabs or Muslims and kind of see that there's nothing really different between you and me.